What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about psychology, self-awareness, and understanding the people around you so you can live a clearer, healthier life. Today's topic is manipulation, specifically how to catch it in real time. Not after the fact, not 6 months later when you're venting to a friend going, "Wait, was that weird?" But right now, while it's happening. Let's get into it. What if I told you that someone in your life, right now, is controlling how you think, feel, and behave, and you have absolutely no idea it's happening? Manipulation doesn't look like a villain twirling their mustache. It looks like your partner just asking a question. It looks like your friend making you feel guilty for having a good day. It looks like a coworker who always seems to get what they want, and somehow you always end up doing the extra work. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have a mental checklist you can run through today. And you might be surprised by what you find. They make you feel crazy for having a normal reaction. You get upset about something reasonable. Maybe they canceled plans last minute. Again, maybe they said something that stung. And when you bring it up, suddenly the conversation flips. Now you're too sensitive. You're overreacting. You're always making things a big deal. This is called gaslighting, and it's one of the most disorienting forms of manipulation because it targets your perception of reality. The goal isn't to resolve the conflict. The goal is to make you doubt yourself so deeply that you stop bringing things up altogether. Ask yourself, after conversations with this person, do I feel more confused about my own feelings than when I started? That's your answer. They use guilt like a weapon. There's healthy guilt. The kind that says, "Hey, you did something wrong. Fix it." And then there's manufactured guilt, the kind someone hands you on purpose. A manipulator makes you feel responsible for their emotions constantly. If they're unhappy, it's somehow because of you. If things go wrong, you should have done more. They say things like, "After everything I've done for you," or "I guess I just don't matter to you." Notice, they're not asking for what they need. They're engineering a feeling in you, guilt, so that you'll do what they want without them ever having to ask directly. They create urgency to bypass your thinking. Manipulators hate it when you slow down and think, so they speed things up. I need an answer right now. If you don't decide today, the opportunity is gone. You're either with me or you're not. This is a pressure tactic. It's designed to push you past your rational mind and into a reactive, emotional state. Because in that state, you're much easier to influence. Anytime someone is rushing you toward a major decision and punishing you for wanting time to think, that's a red flag worth paying attention to. They rewrite history. You remember a conversation going one way. They insist it went another. You bring up something they said. They say they never said it, or that you took it out of context, or that you're always bringing up the past. Over time, this erodes your confidence in your own memory. And once someone controls your version of the past, they have enormous power over your present. A simple habit that helps: journal or screenshot important conversations. Not because you're paranoid, but because having a record gives you a ground truth when your memory is being challenged. They isolate you. Slowly. This one is subtle because it rarely happens all at once. It starts with small comments. "Your friends don't really care about you like I do." "Your family just doesn't understand you the way I do." "Why do you even hang out with them?" Each comment plants a small seed of distance between you and the people in your support network. And over time, without realizing it, you find yourself more and more dependent on one person, the very person doing the isolating. Healthy relationships don't shrink your world, they expand it. They use intermittent reward to keep you hooked. This one is rooted in behavioral psychology. When reward is unpredictable, sometimes you get warmth and love, sometimes you get the cold shoulder, you actually become more attached, not less. It's the same mechanism behind slot machines. A manipulative person might be incredibly kind and loving one day, then distant and critical the next, with no clear reason why. And instead of seeing that inconsistency as a problem, you find yourself working harder and harder to get back to the good version of them. If you're constantly walking on eggshells, trying to figure out what version of this person you're going to get today, that's not love. That's conditioning. They play the victim to avoid accountability. Whenever a manipulator is confronted, something interesting happens. They become the one who's been wronged. Every attempt to address their behavior turns into a conversation about their pain, their struggles, their history. You came in with a concern. Somehow, you leave comforting them. This isn't always conscious. Some people genuinely learn this as a survival mechanism. But whether it's intentional or not, the effect is the same. Your needs never get addressed. The dynamic stays the same, and you feel selfish every time you try to advocate for yourself. Okay, so now you have the signs. Here's how to actually use them. Think of someone in your life: a partner, a friend, a family member, a coworker. And honestly ask yourself these questions. After spending time with this person, do I consistently feel worse about myself? Do I feel like I'm always walking on eggshells? Do I apologize constantly, even when I'm not sure what I did wrong? Have I pulled away from other people in my life because of this relationship? When I try to address a problem, does it always somehow become about them? If you answered yes to 2 or more of those, this deserves more attention. Not panic, not accusation, but honest reflection. So what do you actually do with this information? First, name it to yourself, not to them yet. To you. Saying, I think I'm being manipulated, even quietly, even privately, breaks the spell. It reestablishes your inner authority. Second, rebuild your reality check. Talk to people you trust outside this relationship. Trusted friends, a therapist, a family member. One of the biggest tools of manipulation is isolation. So counteract it. Third, set a boundary and watch what happens. You don't need a dramatic confrontation. Just try saying no to something small and pay attention to the reaction. A healthy person might be disappointed. A manipulative person will escalate, guilt you, punish you, or act wounded. The response will tell you everything. And fourth, get support. Leaving or changing a manipulative dynamic is genuinely hard, especially when you've been in it a long time. A therapist, counselor, or even a trusted mentor can help you navigate it safely. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Recognizing manipulation isn't about becoming cynical or suspicious of everyone around you. It's about knowing yourself well enough that you notice when someone is working against that. You are allowed to have needs. You are allowed to set limits. You are allowed to walk away from people who consistently make you feel small. If this video resonated with you, there's a reason for that. Trust that. Like and subscribe if this helped. Drop a comment below if you've experienced any of these signs. You might help someone else reading it. And I'll see you in the next one.